So the veteran actor Fred Amata, has called the ex-wife Agatha out for giving out their daughter's hand in marriage without his consent. Believe me, in Africa, it is a taboo. It's an abomination. So he said that these people had already come to see him and that his would-be son-in-law had already brought wine, which represents cola. Okay, and remember they're all staying in London. And he, prayed for them and gave them their blessing. He gave them his blessings. And then they hid the dates and hid everything from him, only for him to open his phone and see on social media that his child has, gotten married. That's a bit crazy, It was a bit shocking before I even started reading the article that the ex-husband wrote. It was a really long episode because just reading that took a whole lot of time, and I needed to digest, understand what he was trying to say, and see if there were things he never said in between lines, because when two persons are having this type of estranged marriage, people come up and say a whole lot of things, and if you ask the person might say something damning things that might be very, very shocking. So I've learned not to just take one person's accusation for it, and but in this case, it was this person walking the daughter down the aisle. Auntie Agatha. If you know Auntie Agatha, if you don't know Auntie Agatha, you're on a long thing. She had this beautiful, show that as kids, might not even understand all the topics they talked about, but we just enjoyed watching people coming talking about different topical topics. Sometimes it's about young children career, and just is an educational talk show, and that was all we knew. And we know that the husband was also a very big name. In fact, he's a veteran in the Nollywood industry before the split. We didn't know when the split I don't know when the split happened. I just read about it, but I know that as I was growing, I was seeing Agatha, Amata, doing her thing with her talk show. She was growing. At some point, she had a radio station. I don't know if it's still on in Asaba. She had a big radio station. But that's even by the way. But this man, from his article, he was really pained. He felt like somebody who was actually being humiliated. He felt like somebody who was, being maligned and all that. And whatever it is that the daughter didn't even care, even after they had come to the house and he gave his blessings, and they went ahead and, came up with their date and just went for a quiet wedding without him giving his daughter officially in marriage. It's a long thing. So we're going to read this long post of his, and when we come back, we'll discuss a little about this type of things. So, and he said, the good wife, that was how he started. He said, for over 20 years, I kept silent, desisted from any comments on my failed marriage, allowing the good wife in parentheses, hoping the wounds will heal and a reconciliation possible. But for 20 years, the good wife pounded me, rubbished my reputation, belittling my achievements, exploiting my name for her selfish benefits. It was over 25 years age that I came up with the unique idea of Inside Out with Agatha, a talk show with 6 informed and opposing points of view represented by a person with oratorial skills, now male, now female. We had gone to see a talk show by Regina Askia, and Agatha wanted to be a talk show host. I told her not to worry, I'll come up with something. It will make you be like Oprah Winfrey. And I did ingeniously. I was a dedicated creator, throwing in flesh, blood, and sweat to create and deliver a concept that had never before been done in Nigeria, save for a similar, perhaps less engaging, 6 episodes of a program called Me to You, or something like that, by the late May Ellen Ezekiel, who was married to RMD. A program that could stand the test of time and put bread on the table of the young marriage. A program so versatile, it is still relevant today. Inside Out with Agatha was an instant hit. The genius, the angle, the production values, directorial approach, the lighting and production design were so engaging. It was irresistible. I was at the height of my directorial rendezvous, and I gathered a production crew of the best technical hands in what is now early Nollywood and TV soaps. Were the biggest things because we dared to stand out from the emerging crowd of Nollywood directors. Kingsley Ogoro, my friend, brother, and nemesis, will lead a high. I co-opted Nollywood greats Zach Oji, Okebakase, Sonny McDon, Francis Owoche, Emeka Osai, Zik Zulu Okafor, Francis Juru, Prince Jide Kosoko, and numerous friends who looked up to me, and I asked their support for the first episodes. And soon everybody who was anybody wanted to be part of Inside Out. I staked every resource, friends, favors, loyalties, family, extended family, wife, and links. I involved the cream de la cream of the big production studios, Tunde Kelani, Wale Fanu, Tade Ogidon, Tunde Oloyede, Pat Nebo, Uzo Okbeche, Simi Okbeu, Oluwa Opa Williams, the late Chico Ejiro, and numerous others to ensure no failure of the program. I staked even my first attempt to be president of DGN. Don Pedro Basiki and Matthias Obaibon will attest. Inside Out with Agatha became a runaway hit. So good. I did not realize it threatened the fabric of the marriage. At a meeting of the two families when a resolution was being sought to the marriage crisis, Inside Out was at the center of deliberations. It was agreed that if Inside Out could provide for the children, then we should let Agatha, the good wife, continue with it. After all, she was the marketing person. And Inside Out with Agatha became the cash cow of the good wife. It became her tool to malign me, became her weapon to steal my fame and rubbish my name. With the influence it wielded and the contacts and connections it gathered, the good wife soon built an empire with no emperor. She employed malign my name to acquire favors and contracts. Inside Out is the source of all the good wife's wealth. My genius, my sweat, my vision, and for 20 years I swallowed it. My reputation diminishing as the good wives gathered momentum. So today, the good wife, using my brainchild, has become a billionaire. No credit to me, no compensation, no royalty. But the good wife is good. Let raising the children be my royalty. Buoyed by her own success without any recourse to the creator, the able data state-born good wife has gathered a litany of resentments. She has registered a new company to own the program, discarding the company we set up together. She has sued for and gotten a divorce. And 20 years on, she still carries a bitterness and will still go to the extreme to tarnish my image. Her resentment seems to be that I contested nothing, challenged nothing, not ownership, not even compensation. But know this, good wife, Agatha, all you have ever owned, all you will ever own is because of Inside Out, my brainchild, my intellectual property. Yet to put a nail to a coffin to bury me for being silent, taking no heed of the billions you have harvested, carefree of your stupendous assets, the good wife will dare tradition, challenge abomination, embrace taboo, stare Africa in the eyes, to manipulate my daughter and her husband, to hoodwink the lovebirds and walk my daughter down the aisle to give Stephanie away to her husband. I can't keep quiet anymore. It is time to speak up. This is an abomination. This is taboo. Nowhere in the world, nowhere in Africa, nowhere in Delta State and the lands where we come from. I can't keep quiet anymore. It's time to speak up. This is an abomination. This is taboo. Nowhere in the world, nowhere in Africa, nowhere in Delta states and the lands where we come from can a woman give away her child in marriage, especially where the father is alive, especially when the father is willing and able. Worse when the father is in the same city. What malice would drive a woman in an attempt to rubbish her ex to lead his daughter to marriage? What manipulation will warrant concealing the date and time from a father who has already given his blessing? Even if the daughter forgets, when father and daughter are in the same city of London, is it not the place of the good wife? Good people of the world, netizens, well-wishers, haters, and influencers, what options are left to this heart-broken father? How do you throw away the baby with the bathwater? Do you cast away the ones you forever love? Because a good wife has been blinded by wealth and fury to jeopardize the father's blessings on his daughter. They came to me in London. Aaron brought drinks as cola to me, the father, as the pictures show. What kind of good wife does a thing like this simply to make a man look bad? This is really, really, really dicey, but I just have something to say. I don't care what every other person is going to say, but this is my take, and I'm entitled to my own opinion. It doesn't matter if you like what I'm going to say or you don't like it. On one hand, they came to you. The guy presented a cola nut. I mean, we're Africans, for crying out loud. Does it mean your people was not called together? Then the guy come home to do some certain things that he was supposed to do. We don't marry our daughters off in America or London. We bring them back home, all right? And they come to do the traditional rites and the rest. If that didn't happen, let's assume this is civil marriage. I wouldn't know. I don't know. It's possible. It means that the church marriage will still come on. And when it comes, it could be in Nigeria, or that's where you're going to walk your child down the aisle. I don't just know. But to be very candid, I also believe that I've never heard this lady in any interview talk about this man. In some of the interviews, I don't know if I can reach them. In some of her interviews, I've always heard her talk about how she and her ex actually started this thing, how she brought up the idea and her ex took it all, out and then carried it all and then did what he had to do. I think at least with my young eyes, the teenage eyes, I can say that I once heard that. I don't know if I get the video, I'll still place it here. How that he was supportive and how they did what they did and it came off. Then maybe after that program, after the talk show had been instituted, they had issues, irreconcilable issues, like the lawyers will say, and they couldn't come together and they went their separate ways. But she was still answering Agatha, Amata. All right. So they continued like that and they started raising their kids. But from what he wrote here, I can't deduce that he was actually saying that he wasn't actually financially responsible to these kids. I mean, his royalty was the money that was coming out from the business they had. This business wasn't a joint business. It was this woman's idea, and you helped her as her spouse then to carry it out. But you saying this is my brainchild, I did this, I did that, I didn't ask for any compensation. It's a little bit funny how that when people go their separate ways, somebody's not saying, look at, because you're making money, I started this thing, What if she wasn't the one that picked it up? I mean, what if you were the one and at the end of the day, it went down the drain long time ago? Okay, you are now talking about the business because you saw that the business, kept booming. And believe me, she would have put in her best, put in everything. If you start a business and the person that is handling the business is not even enterprising, the business will go down the drain. It will be flushed off. Nobody would even remember it. Today, this is 2024. Somebody will say, oh, what's inside out? Like, do you understand? Because people had started programs and they couldn't continue, and that was it. It was still from that business that she was paying bills. It was from that business she was doing everything, paying the rent, sending the children to school, from what you are saying. And because of that, I don't think this is something that should become, yes, anybody could have been hurt. Like, it could have been the man or the woman, and like on social media you now see that somebody has walked your child down the aisle without your consent. I understand that, but then again, before anything happens, it is because something had already happened. It is because even the daughter you're trying to exonerate would have chosen to do it that way. You wouldn't just say. She'd be like, I mean, you're just a figurehead. You are a father. Yes, we acknowledge that you're a father. This is somebody that wants to get married to me. And the person comes with wine and says, oh, I want to get married. But the truth of the matter is that she holds her mother dear to her heart. Maybe because of the sacrifices that she would have put in to see them through school. Because he also said that the other one got married in Nigeria, and he was meant to play the most vital part. So we don't know what happened that made this one change her mind. Of course, because she's a girl, you can just imagine. All right. So I don't know what you think about this issue. Do you think, well, she did this actually wrong? She should have done it the other way. Do you think that the man is actually right completely? Or do you think the man should be shouting to the rooftops that this is my brainchild, I started this, and then they gave it to you, and they have not paid me? Was he expecting compensation? So please go to the comment section and drop your ideas, drop what you think. Let's have that tete-a-tete. And now, if you have been watching and you have not been subscribing, because I know, please do subscribe if you love my content. I'll be more regular this time around because I have been very busy, and that's why I've missed a whole lot, So forgive me, guys, those of you that will come and see that I've not posted anything. I'm very sorry about that. So please do subscribe, do like, do share, so that we get the visibility that this channel deserves. All right, bye for now. Thank you very much.